Hello YouTubers, Ramon here. In this video I'm going to benchmark Call of Duty, Call of Pripyat, sorry, slip of the tongue, Call of Pripyat with the standalone benchmarking tool on a single GTX 1070. As always, this is a digital recording which is done on an external recorder. So what you will see in this video will be pure performance. As you can see, the system is idling perfectly right now, so it has nothing to do with the recording itself. I'm using a Core i5 2500, which is overclocked to 4.8 GHz, something that may come handy for this benchmarking video because the benchmark seems to be quite CPU limited, at least for lower clocks. I have not tested it on this frequency on the GTX 1070. 16 GB of memory, and the graphics card is a single GTX 1070 made by KFA2. Latest force were installed and it is also overclocked, so it will be boosting to 2 GHz for the core clock. I have my previous benchmarking results in this ready to go video file. It is my GTX 970 and we will compare it with the 1070 once the benchmark finishes. Now I'm using the Ultra preset DirectX 11 shader path 1080p resolution, and everything is maxed out. Okay, basically these are maxed out settings, so it is a maxed out benchmark. So let's start it and let's see how it will perform on the GTX 1070, if we are going to get any better performance or not. It is a quite old benchmark from 2009, as you can see. It was Okay, this long benchmark has finished. Uh, Let me pull up my calculator and let's do some uh, comparisons. 180 frames per second for the day result, 117, 54% performance increase on the 1070, 100 and the stupid thing does not leave me. 187, 54, 53% performance increase again on that second run. It is interesting because these runs did show some CPU limits. I believe the third one was the worst, but we still have 53%. The performance delta seems to be steady on all runs. I believe the fourth one should show us a little higher performance delta, if I'm not much mistaken. 55, yes, it is a little higher, less CPU limited, of course. Very good results. It is an old benchmark after all, but it was too heavy in its days, and we still can see that it does show quite some CPU limits throughout the run, on all runs actually. The fourth one was a little better due to the higher GPU load, more demanding, good frame rate, good frame times, some spikes on the first run, I'm not sure why. I'm not going to do a performance analysis, of course, it is not needed. The CPU usage is very impressive on this old benchmark. We can see how well threaded it was back then. We are talking 7 years ago, my friends, 7 to 8 years ago. Look at this CPU threading, excellent job. Even for today's standards, Microsoft should be looking at this and be ashamed for their Forza Horizon 3 multi-threading. CPU temps are okay. RAM at 3GB, 3.1GB. The power of the card is at around 80, yes, around 80%. The GPU temps are okay. Core clock at 2 GHz throughout the run and quite low memory usage, 1.3 gigabytes, 1.35 for the last run. And we did have a slight voltage limit on the last run. It dropped by 13 megahertz, nothing too serious. Quite interesting benchmark even for today. I would like to benchmark on a CPU with more cores, just out of curiosity to see how far ahead the developers, the programmers were looking into the future. In any case, this is the end of this video, my friends. I hope you find it interesting. Thank you very much for watching.